Hello.
Hi, welcome to Chat with Chris and Pat.
I'm Chris.
Let me take this off. I'm Pat.
Today we were talking about how our human design, I like human design, I like astrology, I like all of those types of things to help us understand our energetic blueprints. And so I've been studying it for quite a while. And I'm in human design, I am a manifestor type, which is only 8 to 9% of the population has this energy type. Pat is a generator, and most of the planet's energy type is generators. So a lot of the ideas around production, completion, the ideas of constant energy, constant go, being on, and like having a switch of sorts, like that you're switched on or you're switched off. A lot of those concepts are generator concepts. They're actually like the way you guys are built to function in the world.
Us popular types.
Yeah, you guys are popular. But you're the builders, and it requires constant energy to be those builders.
Right.
You know, I mean...
You need us slaves.
That is not even close.
Okay, sorry. Just a little tongue-in-cheek humor. Not even close. We set our own boundaries.
But you guys have this constant warm fire of sacral energy.
I think that's it. It's a desire. It's a desire to create. It's a desire to finish.
Oh, yeah,
but
you're
we're
a big
not
finisher.
here to talk about generators, in my
That's
opinion.
okay. You're allowed to talk about generators. It's an important difference because within the human design system, there are what's called sacral beings and non-sacral beings. And the sacral beings are the ones who have the sacral center fixed, meaning it is fixed within them and it has a very clear and distinct personal, like internal ability to regulate itself and to have a fixed and constant source of life force energy. That's what sacral energy is. It's life force energy. It's a fuel that gives it the rest of your life, you know, energy and movement and direction and such. All right. So manifestors, along with projectors and reflectors, which we're not talking about right now, but manifestors, which is mine, we do not have constant sacral energy. And so our energy system is like really fast high, and then it comes down and then needs some rest time, and then it goes up and it's like down. It's very, because it's open, we don't have a constant flow and consistent and reliable flow of life force energy. Yeah.
I was just gonna say, if majority of the world are generators, and we don't have kind of like that understanding knowledge,
right, of
we're
different
like,
types.
and we come across a manifestor who's tired as fuck,
Yeah.
and we're thinking, what's wrong with you?
Right.
Get off your lazy ass.
Right, exactly.
It's just very unfair for us to come across that way because they're just not built that way.
Right, right. And that's been one of the benefits of knowing human design, is that we understand the way that our bodies are wired to use energy and engage in the world, and our roles in that engagement. Like his role as a generator is to respond. It's to respond to the world around him and to pursue those things that light him up, and contribute his energy to whatever that is that he's responding to. If I go into respond mode, it burns me out. So answering a lot of questions, getting to a place where I have to do like a to-do list is draining for me, where a to-do list is like, ooh, yes, please.
Goals.
Yeah. So like to-do lists for me, if I'm making it, it's because I'm needing more reminders of what things I'm feeling inspired to take action on. But if I'm having to work with somebody else's to-do list, I'm completely drained because I'm having to respond to their desires and their requests. And as a manifestor, I'm meant to initiate from within. I'm not supposed to respond to external things. And the reason for that is we, as manifestors, we are meant to initiate ideas and bring forth new things and bring forth concepts and vision of where things could go, and to speak those because we have a fixed voice, throat, but our voice has power to it. And so it actually gives the generator something to respond to. And so it's a beautiful combination. But what happens is if I'm going, and I have been lately, there's certain times where I have a project in mind, and because I'm so excited about it, I get this surge and I can work 10 times faster than anybody else out there to get something accomplished. And that's part of the manifestor. We burn fast and we have really quick initiative. But we also have it just stops. And so if I'm not careful, if I'm not listening to my body, and there's another thing called authority, it's the way that we make decisions. I have splenic authority, which is instantaneous. It's just a small voice. And Pat, you have sacral authority. And so his is a gut feeling and this guttural noises that he listens to for himself, which is, I really kind of envy sacral authority a lot.
I didn't realize I was doing the grunting, but it's just a constant everyday thing in conversation. She'll say certain things and I'll go, huh.
Or,
Yeah, right. Or, and it's she can already tell that I am not digging that. I'm not responding to that. I'm not.
Right. Yeah.
My gut is saying.
His sacral sounds are really important.
Yeah.
Because they're the direction that he has. And so for me, the splenic authority is that small voice that's instantaneous, and it doesn't usually repeat itself too often, sometimes, but not often. And so my internal mechanism today was basically saying, you need to stop. Just rest. And then things come up and I can't at the moment. And when I end up pushing myself, then I get a little bit burned out. And so it's a real balance, because as a non-sacral being, we want to continue to go. We want to be able to go and do and have consistent energy like our beautiful generators that are just so consistent. And it makes us feel a little bit flighty when we can't, or it's just not a fun feeling, to be honest.
Yeah.
But learning to embrace that and just be okay with it, just to be okay with our own design and to recognize that, hey, I'm just not meant for that. And it's called deconditioning, to decondition ourselves from the expectations of operating as generators when we're not, designed that way.
Knowing about your design helps me to think, how can I be supportive?
Yeah,
if you are just needing to veg, to recharge your batteries, I'm babe.
Yeah, you've been really good about that. And tonight was one of those nights where I'm that's why I'm in my jammies early. I just was I need to stop. I need to stop.
Yeah.
And so I kind of did. I ended up making dinner anyway. But I just realized that I need to stop. And it's also just the movement. I need to stop moving. I also need to have some alone time, because that's another part of manifestors, is needing space without other people around, because that's where we can, it's kind of off-gassing. It's we absorb everybody else's sacral energy around us. And then that time alone allows us to be in our own energy alone.
Yeah.
And to get back to equilibrium in our sacral center that's not supercharged by the generators around us.
It's funny. Sometimes I've gone back in the morning. I wake up early.
Yeah, you're early.
And I go back in bed to cuddle or be with her. If she's still sleepy, I'll be it's okay, babe. I'll be quiet. She's like, no, I can still feel your energy.
He's
So
like buzzing.
Yeah, I could be as quieter than a mouse, but she'd still feel that power coming out of me.
Because once he's turned on, all generators, once they wake up, and they like almost wake up like with this power charge boost thing going on, and it's like once they're up, they're like bing, and it's almost like you have like, I don't know if you've ever felt a cord that's charging something and it's kind of vibrating. That's what they feel like. It's like they have like this vibrational pulse of almost. And so when I'm trying to wake up and like get oriented to being back in my body, I guess, after sleep, it's like I don't have that instant charge. Mine's I'm like an old computer that takes a little time to come online. Exactly. I don't think other people are going to.
That's
true.
That's
a Gen X thing.
Sorry, that's dial-up.
Yeah. So anyway, it's just a little bit of a human design moment that we figured it would be fun to talk about since we're experiencing the differences of our types tonight.
So I have a question, but we have gone 11 minutes.
Yeah, it is a long video. My bad.
Real quick.
Yeah.
When you don't take those times to rest, what have been some of the outcomes?
Yeah, I get flu-like symptoms and my joints start aching. So for me, it's basically sacral burnout. And it's like your body just starts shutting down. And it's like, it's flu-like symptoms. Like I said, it's fatigue, it's achiness in the joints, it's muddled like thinking.
Gosh, ever since you've been listening to that, I've had, like, I remember sometimes I used to come home, I had to come home and take care of her.
Yeah.
You know, that's like, I don't remember the last time I've done that.
Yeah, that's an interesting point. I haven't remembered that, but yeah. Yeah, when our kids were little and I didn't know about this stuff yet, whoo, buddy.
Yeah.
It was rough. But yeah, my body gets like flu-like symptoms. I won't get necessarily feverish, but it's like all the other symptoms of flu. And sometimes it is even congestion, and like just soreness and headachy, and my body just basically is like overloaded. My circuitry is like, we're done. I warned you, but you didn't stop, so sorry, I have nothing more to give. I've given you everything. We've tapped into every resource we have. We're done. We're burned out. So it takes a little bit more, quite a bit more for the generators to burn out. But it's really working against if you start operating against your design, you'll burn out a lot easier. So, yeah. So, and if you continue doing it, it actually could create like really like habitual, and I would not even be surprised. I'd have to do more research to say this with conclusion, but I think that some autoimmune diseases are probably related to this. Your system's just burnt to a crisp and starts fighting itself. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, those are some of our thoughts on human design in our household. And thanks for listening. I hope it's been interesting to you. I could talk about human design for days. Yeah. Everything besides just observing who I am as a generator. I've learned from that, but the majority of the stuff that I've learned is from her passion for it. Yeah. You know, I've just kind of gleaned it. You've been a good student. It's definitely changed our household. And I think that's why I find it so important for other people to know. Yeah. Yeah. Very important. Okay. Well, we'll talk again tomorrow. Ciao, ciao. Ciao.